On truth, and the Aquarian Foundation is a spectacular place to do that. The Great White Brother. Okay. Oh yeah. All right. The Great White Brotherhood, and you can find out more about them at thegreatwhitebrotherhood.com. That is another spectacular form of spiritual development. And I've witnessed miracles that the Great White Brotherhood had orchestrated, and they are absolutely incredible. I'm not going to go over the specifics about that, but you know, right now. But it's ascended masters, sorcerers, and they're in touch with very intelligent extraterrestrial life, and they're courageous and loving, and I have nothing, you know, the Great White Brotherhood for Spiritual Development is an awesome source. The Great White Sisterhood, and they're connected, but one place where you can find out about the Great White Sisterhood is thespiritualmysteryschool.com. And I have also witnessed miracles performed by the Great White Sisterhood, and they're just incredible. They're just absolutely incredible. But that's another thing. The next source is the Bio-Cybernaut Institute, and that was founded by Dr. James Hart, and you can find out more about that at biocybernaut.com. Now, I went through one training at the Bio-Cybernaut Institute, and in 1 week my consciousness expanded more than it ever did ever, and that was 1 week. And that is an incredible, it's about as incredible as it gets for spiritual development. It's just incredible. I have a lot to say about it, and I already talked about the Bio-Cybernaut Institute a little bit when I talked about the different dimensions, but I can't say enough about the Bio-Cybernaut Institute. Another form is QSETI, and that's me, and you could just ask me. I just kind of shoot from the hip. Another one is Ramtha's School of Enlightenment, and you can find out more about that at ramtha.com. And they actually have a school that teaches you to interact with orbs. So basically, if you go in somewhere and there's a spiritual guru sitting on a meditation pillow and there's orbs flying around everywhere, you're in the right place. When you get into orbs, that's where you want to be. Because if there's an orb flying through the room, well, you know you're in an orb because you've taken the course, you know nothing exists outside your fingertips, and what these orbs are actually beings who are flying around. But you're just seeing a little ball of light. But if you go up to that little ball of light and look in it, you'll see the being in there. But anyway, when you're dealing with orbs and stuff like that, that's where you want to be. That's a legitimate source. Another one is the Spiritual Dynamics Academy, Owen K. Waters, and you can find out more about that at spiritualdynamics.net. And that he gets his information from extraterrestrials and ascended masters, angels, and beings like that. And what I like about that is that he'll be wondering, you know, I'll be wondering something, or at least how this has helped me. I'll have a question and I'll be wondering something, and then out of nowhere he'll send me an email with a one-page perfect explanation of whatever it is that I was wondering about. And he's right on the money every time, and he's just a very, from what I've seen, intelligent, honest, and he takes things and puts them in a very, very easy to absorb and understandable way. And that's what I like about that. The next one is Interiors Psychospiritual Health Therapies LLC, and that's more of a, they do addiction counseling and things like that, but for spiritual development, I mean, you can go to her for you can pretty much go to her for anything and she'd be able to help you. I know about 15 versions of that woman or more, and just magical, and highly connected with extraterrestrial life and galactic universal intelligence. Another great source is the Sedona Creative Life Center, and that's just like a hub where all these, like, you'll see a lot of these different things that a lot of these different sources that I just listed, they all go to the Spiritual Life Center. So that's kind of like a hub where a lot of really good information goes there for people to go and absorb. And it's like a menu. It's pretty much what I'm doing here. It's like a menu for all the good stuff. And you can find out about that more at SedonaCreativeLife.com. And then the last one, number 20, is Alex Jones at Infowars.com, which you might say, well, that's not really spiritual development, but I say that it is, because it's spiritual development, as far as I'm concerned, is the expansion of consciousness and becoming more aware of your surroundings. And if you're relying on the regular mainstream media news, or someone who's trying to intentionally mislead you, they're steering you off track. But I'd say that I think that's an excellent form of spiritual development. And I mean, it's not meditation, it's not that, but it fills in a lot of necessary blanks for a human being to free themselves, and just to create a state of freedom. And that's what I'm going after here. So, just to make this course really complete here, you want to YouTube Spirit Science, and that's a 15-part series. That's like 3 or 4 hours. I don't agree with everything in there. I agree with most of it, 90% of it. And I mean, I don't agree with. I mean, I have my own personal perception on everything, so I don't agree with everyone on everything. But and everyone has their different approaches and their different opinions, because everyone's perception of reality is different. Everyone has their own individual perception. But knowing that we're all connected is all these sources know that. The next thing you want to YouTube is We All Have a Date with the Planet, and that's a pretty good film. That's about an hour and a half. And then you want to YouTube Zeitgeist, Zeitgeist. And I think there's 4 Zeitgeists that came out. Just watch one of them. Pick one and watch one. And that should be, at this point, pretty much just a review. And then you want to YouTube DMT, the Spirit Molecule, full documentary. And that is it's important, because a lot of things with natural resources like shrooms and marijuana, DMT, things like that, have been completely distorted and manipulated. And people think that certain things are bad or harmful when they're not, and they actually grow naturally on the planet to help us spiritually develop and evolve. And we want to make the entire human race aware of that, or at least expose you to the information that you need to contemplate in order to be aware of it if you so choose. And then some books. If you're into reading, and I'm not assigning these books as homework, but they're books that I think are very good and will put you in alignment with the truth. Hermetic Philosophy, the Book of I Ching, Conversations with God, The Keys of Enoch, written by J.J. Hurtak, and that was in the video. That was part of the homework in the course, learning about that. The Ascension Journal, and you can You can learn more about that on Lisa Renee's site, energeticsynthesis.com. The Convoluted Universe, Dolores Cannon, and there's several books that she wrote, you know, Convoluted Universe 1, 2, 3. But Dolores Cannon is incredible, is really incredible, and she can really help you understand whatever it is you need to understand. The next two books are books written by a man by the name of Bob Frissell. Nothing in this book is true, but it's exactly how things are. And the next book, Something in This Book is True. And those are just books, I mean, if you're a reader and you're interested in just getting right down to the nitty-gritty truth and jumping straight down the rabbit hole, those books will do that for you. So basically, what you want to do is you want to take all those things and put links for them right here. So when you're right on the website, if you want to switch over to any of those links, it's just a quick click and you can get right to where you need to go. So, Sacred Geometry done, Spiritual Development done, Course in Sainthood, that's done, but a work in progress. And then Inventions, Creations, and Investigations. And that I will get into and elaborate on in the next video. So I look forward to serving you soon in the next video. Thank you.